Welcome back, everybody, to the Yonko Podcast here on Yonko Adventures. I'm Burke.
I'm Brock.
And we have just done our reactions to One Piece Chapter 1086, The Five Elder Planets. We're going to now review that chapter, but first, if you like this content, please subscribe, like this video, comment below, ring that bell so you get notifications. Support us on Patreon or Vivi or whatever else. If you seriously love us that much, we would.
Pretty sure it's LibrePay.
LibrePay, Vivi. Sorry, Vivi card.
You got Vivi on the brain.
No. Anyway, One Piece on the brain. Sorry, but yes, if you love our stuff that much and you feel like financially supporting us, be our guest. But with that out of the way, let's talk about this chapter, bro.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So fun.
What a banger before Oda goes on vacation. Am I right? Not vacation. He's having a serious surgery.
Yeah. Rest your eyes, Oda.
Rest those eyes. Anyway, I was wrong. First off, one of my predictions, I think 2 chapters ago, was that we had at least 3 more chapters of flashback, at least. Which, I don't count this, because it technically is no longer a flashback.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not part of the same flashback that we just saw.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
So, I was close, mind you, but
I wouldn't even remembered if you hadn't told me.
no,
So
I'm just... That's one of those things where I'm like, dang it, I was so close to being right about something.
You've been right about something.
No, I know. Recently, though.
That's fair.
You've
You've been horribly inaccurate. Just kidding.
I've been spreading misinformation. What can I say? Anyway, no. But also, with that being said, I am kind of happy that, as far as I can tell, all my major questions of like what happened during Reverie have basically been answered.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically...
you can have like other side flashes of just like, oh, when the God's Night showed up, because I'm assuming now we can just kind of maybe fill in that blank space of remember that shot of Shirahoshi and Sai looking shocked at something, like arriving almost. I feel like we can almost assume like a God's Night came.
I'm still thinking maybe not.
Okay.
The point
is, after that, the God's Night eventually,
To me, right now until that, because like the only reason I disagree at all is because the sight that was in front of them was more than enough for them to react that way. Which was Kuma being held back by a tutu wearing giant digger guy.
Fair enough.
And calling him Kuma-chan.
Because I was like, the sight that Sai just caused of, fucking what's his name's head being caved in.
No, it's Kuma being held back by a giant man in a tutu and basically nothing else.
Okay, no, that's fair.
That would make me look like that as well.
Fair enough.
And because it wouldn't surprise you the God Knight arrived after they got away. But it's also entirely possible that they did arrive. I don't know. But for now, my assumption is that the side of that what's the person's name? The digger with the tutu?
Morley.
Morley picking up Kuma and like holding him so tightly and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty shocking in and of itself.
No, for sure. Especially because it was just like so unexpected for all of them in that courtyard.
Yeah, he just comes out of the ground.
So, okay. But I will still personally hold to this. And at this point, we're never going to actually get confirmation.
We might. Well, the way I see it, Burke, is if what you're saying is true, we will get confirmation because that means something happened at that moment with a God's Night. And we'll explain why Miosgard is in the situation he is in.
Fair enough.
But if what I think happened, then we won't. Because then it just would be what it is.
I also think like it's so clear that Miosgard is going to die at this point.
But I think that'd be a good lead up to his death. Would be seeing why he was being. If the God Knight was there, that would be a direct, I think, correlation to his execution.
And actually, frankly, if the God Knight was there, I feel like that situation would have ended differently for Shirahoshi, which we know Shirahoshi and Neptune and all them are back home.
Yeah, so potentially.
So actually, I'm probably wrong on that one.
We'll see though.
I'm just gonna withdraw that. Always happy to see I totally just blanked on his name.
Oh, Igaram.
Igaram. I'm always happy to see him. I really like him. But also I'm sad that, he doesn't know where Vivi's at.
Well, him, Chaka, and Pell, they're all just
Chaka
where the hell where's our people?
Pell's over here gonna do my joke from 2 weeks ago. That had to be bleeped out. I had so many mixed feelings last chapter that I didn't get to share about Wapple.
That's right. Good. Share them now.
Because I almost wanted to text you guys before you read the chapter and just throw misinformation out there and just be like, guess who's coming back in a big way? Because Alex's least favorite One Piece character that I'm aware of is Foxy. Yeah. My least favorite is Wapple. But after last chapter, he has a moment there where I'm just like, you know what? I'm okay with him right now.
Yeah, he's not being his normal
I don't despise him, and he actually does something in this chapter that may seem cruel, but ultimately I'm like, you're sparing her the knowledge that her father's dead right now.
Yeah.
I feel like Wapple that we knew at the first reverie she went to would be like, your dad died. Sucks to suck, brat.
And that could be the case, and it also could just be the case that he's just fearing the spread of information for his own life because it might lead back to him.
Sure.
But it doesn't change the fact that he accidentally saved Vivi's life.
Yeah.
Well, we know, or at least saved her from the clutches of CP0 and potentially Emu, which is more than I think than any of us were expecting.
Yeah.
And he's failing upward personality-wise. Right now, his wife thinks he's cheating on her.
I know. That was definitely a funny moment of the last one where it's just like, oh, you're running away with her?
A mistress? No, it's...
So let's see, they went on the Aegis Kingdom, which we then obviously realize later that's one of the ones that starts actively rebelling, as well as the Tajin Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's that's interesting to me because Sabo was obviously on the Lelousian ship. That particular country got saved by Bello Betty forever ago when Bello Betty was introduced along with the rest of the commanders. What exactly, and maybe I'm missing something or I've forgotten something, what exactly happened that the Tajin Kingdom and the Aegis Kingdom suddenly start rebelling because, does it have anything to do with the stowaways that are on those ships? Because Tajin Kingdom has Bonnie, and then Aegis Kingdom has Vivi and Wapple on them. Or were these just already things that were set in motion that have nothing to do with these particular people?
For now, I do think there's a reason they were named. But I think for now, these kingdoms... Because we might get to see more of, what Sabo personally experienced on Lelousia, or maybe how Bonnie got to where she was after taking the Tajin Kingdom ship. But he doesn't usually name these things without a reason.
No, I know.
So I don't know if it's relevant right now, but maybe because it is right now. He's connecting all sorts of dots here.
We have a massive web going on.
Massive web, and these are probably just two small parts in the web. Because here's the thing: with the way this is going, this is going to engulf literally the entire world.
Oh yeah.
Everything. Absolutely. And I think knowing the kingdoms is going to become very important because we're going to start getting them on our side by the end. Not necessarily even on Straw Hat Luffy's side, but maybe on Vivi's side since she's going to be so central to all this.
Yeah.
I think Alex and I agreed on this on the last video. We had some disagreements in terms of how it'll go about, but I think we both agreed that she will be the center point and kind of the leading face of what goes against Imu.
Interesting. Okay.
Because of her status as a royal and her status in politics and how she's able to get people to love her, like how she's beloved, and the fact that she's a D. Because like Luffy, he'll do the fighting. Mm-hmm. He'll lead the warriors. But she's the one that needs to talk to the people, I think.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Not sure how I feel about any of that, but that's
just say I'm right, and then you'll be fine.
I refuse. For once, I'm going to be with Alex, and I'm not going to just agree with you. You and I usually agree, but that's not one of those ones
You don't think Vivi's going to be central to this shit and do that kind of stuff?
I think she's going to be central, maybe not necessarily in the way that you just described to me. I got to warm up to that idea.
Oh my god.
That particular...
That's not like something you'd love.
Like, yes and no. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that view of Vivi. Fully.
What about the view?
Like, that she's going to be such a good figurehead yet. Like, I don't know. And maybe I
didn't say it's going to happen, like, right now.
Okay.
I'm saying... Well, I think... Well, that's actually part of the argument that me and Alex had, was that he thinks she's already at the point where she's ready for that. I was saying I think she'll build up to... What I'm saying is I think she'll build up to the point of being Imu's political enemy as a D.
I can live with that.
That's what I meant. Is I don't think Luffy's the man to do that politically. He's the one who's going to do the fighting.
Okay.
She's going to be the political leader that brings the kingdoms together against this all-consuming evil that we're seeing.
Fair enough.
But I don't think it's going to happen right away. Okay. No, but God, no. Okay. Right now, she's on the losing side completely.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. We'll see about that. Okay. So yeah, we got CP0 agents, with posters of Vivi and Sabo wandering around trying to find people.
Fucking Stelly
being a horn dog for Vivi, and his wife should just murder him right there and then. He definitely deserves it. Fuck
absolutely. Well, I mean, they're gonna use him for something though. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna use him for something.
I hope he gets murked by Anne at some point. I think that'd be hilarious.
I mean, there's so many, like, I'm not gonna call anything. I'm not going to say anything's gonna happen right now.
Yeah, that's what predictions.
But with how many? No, I'm not even talking about in predictions. But like, considering what Oda is doing with all these seemingly joke characters, I'm becoming less and less certain that Foxy won't be used for something serious.
No, I know.
Or something applicable.
Like, we meme about it a lot.
All the time.
But, like, also...
He might come back in a relevant manner.
Fucking Gadatsu might come back. Anaru might come back. Like, and, I mean, by all means, Anaru is at least more of a cool, important.
Well, and also,
like,
there's a connection there with, like, the moon and shit, too.
Yeah, for sure.
He might have a more direct connection.
But like, with the importance that Buggy's been given... And like,
even Wapple...
We still keep, like, seeing fucking Wapple. Wapple was, like, the least important villain in the Alabasta saga, in my honest opinion. Mm. Because also, he wasn't even related to, Baroque works at all. At least with like Little Garden, Mr. 3, and it was Golden Week. It was like, hey, at least these are part of the organization that we are actively going against right now.
In a RPG sense, he was a companion quest.
Yeah.
It was to get Chopper.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. And so, like, the fact that he's using these people, he's bringing them back in such big ways. I'm beginning to doubt all my thoughts on, like, well, there's no way Don Krieg will come back. Or there's no fucking way Kuro will come back. Or even Captain Morgan's out there.
Or even fucking Arlong, bro.
Captain Morgan's still out there on his own.
He's out there on his own. He escaped.
He's alive. Are we going to get a father-son moment between Helmeppo and Captain Morgan?
Dude, well... Technically, I feel like that's always been in the works because Helmeppo, I'm pretty sure.
And that was
he was going to catch him.
Well, they had a really cool moment there when like Morgan kind of looked back at him and was like, there was a little bit of respect there. I felt like.
Yeah.
But so like, but it's kind of scary but awesome in a way to think about. Like, there's literally no character who
off
is
the board
for being used for this. It's like. And if they do...
Well, I mean, that's the cool thing about Oda making Vivi a D is because now all of a sudden, like, one of our first major arcs of the series is now catapulted to having relevancy without us just being like, oh, hey, let's just check in on Vivi. We really love Vivi. We miss Vivi.
And I mean, there was always that there was always that little inkling of, like, she was an honorary Straw Hat, you know. Like,
and we always kind of thought, like, she probably
she'll come back later. Well, I never would have imagined
in this capacity
as this, like, one of the most central people to the story. Like,
yeah.
And a D on top of that. Yeah. Like, it was just so cool.
No, it's awesome.
I love that. I love this. I
love this journey for you, Oda. Anyway.
No, but so if the day does come where fucking Foxy comes with a whole army of people that he's won in Davy Back fights, Alex will cry and I will laugh at him while he cries. I will be the Pirate King! No, regardless.
I would love it so much if Foxy pulled like a Kiba in Naruto, where he's just over there like saying like, yeah, I'm going to be the next Pirate King. I'm going to be the next Hokage. And all of us are just like...
And he just...
No, you won't.
And he fades into oblivion.
Yeah, just fades into oblivion. Alex might actually appreciate that, though. If, like,
absolutely.
It's just a gag on that fucker.
But yeah, now we just don't know. Because two people we thought would always be just comedic background fuckers at this point.
Which, don't get me wrong, Oda will still probably use Buggy as
there will still be a
thing.
It's in his personality.
But the point is, Oda gave him purpose.
Well, and he has...
Or rather, he always had purpose, but he wasn't willing to take it.
And he lost it after so many years, you know? And then, like, it just got reawakened in him.
So.
And, like, you know, the fact that Wapple's spending time with Vivi right now, that could promote some small changes as well. It's kind of interesting.
Snowball effect, or butterfly effect.
Yeah, I'm just like... I just love how... He's not just subverting expectations, he's like completely destroying them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know how I made these hundreds and hundreds of characters across this thing that are named and like relevant to their arcs? By the way, they're relevant to the main story as well. And that is so cool. What?
Fucking Gaimon.
What if now what if now that Buggy is gotten his dream back, he recruits Gaimon into his crew as he went along with his animals. Now that he's got the resources and shit.
Oh my god! And then Richie's just the animal, or not
the animal captain.
Moji,
yeah.
He's like the animal captain.
Oh my god.
He becomes his own like little ecosystem of fucking Kaido, and then Alvida becomes like her own big mom underneath.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
And like, the wonderful part is, like, these would have been a joke
years ago, not months ago.
Literally, not like a month ago. These would have been a joke. And now it's like, okay, so Buggy had a fucking boss moment. Wapple, while still being his selfish self, did in fact play a big part in saving Vivi.
Did something that I can pat him on the back for and
which
say,
you never thought would happen.
You know what? Maybe I'm happy that in Luffy shoving you off a castle, you didn't fall into the sea.
Yes.
Like, it's begrudging. But also, you saved Vivi.
You saved our girl.
Which even Kat, who I think hates Wapple almost as much as I do, will be like, well, he saved Vivi, though. So...
Yeah. It's just like, wow.
It's the same thing as like why I fucking currently am in love with Caribou. I fucking hated that motherfucker back on Fishman Island, and then he became such an actual, like...
Unit?
A unit.
Support.
He was the best Chekhov's gun in all of Wano for me. Like, truly. The fact that he was just, like, traipsing about in the shadows with enough food to fill our boy back up, I'm just like...
And even if it's for personal survival, like, he still is pushing the Straw Hats and the story forward.
Yep. So, I don't care. It's great. Oda, if you make me like every character that I have disliked in the past, and that includes Granny Kokoro, fucking do it, my dude, because I'm here for it. I'm always here for this shit.
No, and just so there's not many people who can like make that many characters and just continually make them relevant, and it truly makes me happy.
It's awesome. So, anyway, all that to say, we got that off of the panel of Spondum and Stelly.
I feel like it's this is kind of weird.
What's up?
I feel like I will like Spandam more as a subordinate.
Oh, of course.
Because he won't have the means to push people around.
No.
And so he'll be too scared to do shit.
Yeah. No, I will like him as the little bitch subordinate more than he was. Because, oh my gosh, Water 7 is always so, or rather, Enies Lobby is so painful for me the way he talks to and treats Robin the entire time. Drives me insane. I wish I could Luffy punch him myself through the screen.
Which is why it's so satisfying when Robin breaks his spine.
Well, first off, Usopp getting that awesome snipe on him.
That's still one of my all-time favorite moments in One Piece.
Yeah.
Was and then the shot from the Justice Tower.
And then Robin breaking his spine is always, great too. So, Sabo looking a little worse for wear. Yeah. Most of that damage, as far as we can tell, came from him. I think Alex would probably argue with me that all of it came from him and none of it came from the elders. And I'm over here like, bruh. I do think the elders are actually very fucking strong.
Well, I thought that tail came from one of the elders.
It's possible. I feel like that arrow tail thing, whatever you want to call it, mostly came from him, but also like
it was also hard to tell because it was just a haze of figures. It was the haze of
war. It was the fog of war going on right there. I refuse to believe that the elders are weak.
No.
I cannot.
Okay, if they're named gods,
yeah,
they're not weak. There's no way in hell they're weak. It's becoming improbable to me that they could be anything but very powerful. It's just
like when we read the chapter where Jay Garcia was heading to Egghead, and Alex was just so surprised because it was just like, well, an elder should never leave the Holy Land. And I'm like, why not? Do you really think that they sit up there in their high tower and are just a bunch of frail old guys? This is an anime, bro. Like, most Japanese anime have strong old people in them.
Usually the top old guys with the suits on are some of the strongest.
Yeah. Look at fucking Garp, bro. That galaxy fist? Come on. Old people in this are just as powerful as some of the young
and let's be real, everybody in the One Piece world has above average strength and endurance. That's why they live through impossible shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Sabo looking a little worse for wear. All of the countries leaving. Obviously, the news spread of Cobra's murder blamed on Sabo.
Of course.
And then Vivi disappearing, which... very surprised, and I can say this obviously after last chapter too, that Sabo had nothing to do with Vivi's disappearance. So, or at least didn't have any helping hand in her getting away from any of this.
I'm not necessarily surprised by it. I think there was enough working variables that there were multiple ways you can get out of it. So, and the fact that they weren't together when we saw them kind of lended itself to, for me personally, because I feel like Sabo, as Luffy's brother, and knowing, I'm sure they would have talked about Luffy at some point in time, would have taken extra care to protect her, being a close friend and helper to his brother, and also maybe as kind of a debt to Cobra as well, But either way, I'm just glad she's safe.
Nope, very glad she's safe. Okay, so upon rereading this portion here where the Gorosei are meeting. This gives more context to when the Lelucia bombing happened. Mm-hmm. Because remember when they were like, oh, he's on Lelucia. So fate has spoken clearly. Because this is the moment where Im's just like, Lelucia's close. Destroy that one first.
Yeah.
So then, when that happens, they're like, oh, Sabo's on there. Must be fate. Clearly.
It's interesting. Because So Imu, obviously, from what we could tell, doesn't possess much of a conscience.
No, gosh, no.
The elders, there does seem to be a little bit of a conscience there, but
It's really small.
well, it's not even that. It's more of a like the necessity of what they believe is God's orders far outweighs what the life of any human. Like, I'm sure they see themselves as far inferior and welcome to die themselves at Imu's command. I can totally see that.
No, fair. That's
why because like when it was like quite a lot of people live there. You know, it's kind of like it's not much, but it wasn't a complete just like yes sir. It was like we could do it somewhere less popular.
The world moves at the will of the creator.
Yeah, so there was some feeling there. So they're obviously not completely inhuman, but they're obviously have a complete and utter devotion to Imu that sees human life as far less important in the grand scheme of things.
So to put Vegapunk's invention to the test, use the Mother Flame.
Mother Flame. We have a name for it now. Mother Flame.
Well, and then later, Eva references that it, or somebody references that it must have been an ancient weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Because Vegapunk wouldn't purposely create something like this. Yeah, hold it, Eva. Vegapunk would never intentionally design a dedicated killing machine. So, but if it was an ancient weapon, assuming Emu has been living since ancient times, there is a connection.
Maybe it's an ancient weapon that, and maybe it was an ancient weapon that Vegapunk wasn't really told what it was, and he performed like modifications on it to allow it to function nowadays, type thing. Which is why he could still call it Vegapunk's invention. But we also know Vegapunk's personality. He's not the type to mass murder people as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
You know? But, dude, I mean...
Gosh dang. It's been so long since the fucking reveal of,
Vegapunk?
Well, fucking... Traitor Vegapunk, I can't remember her name. The lust one or the desire one.
No, it's Desire. Oh, man. Yeah.
York.
Little Yorkie.
Like, thinking about this, I'm like, we haven't seen the Straw Hats in like a month and a half, 2 months.
This is a long segment in the middle of an arc. And it's so crazy that's what's kind of becoming the norm. And I think that just goes to show
we're getting there.
This is the end saga.
We're getting there. We'll say that probably every fucking chapter.
Everything is interconnecting now. Yeah. And we're getting names for shit like Mother Flame and Imu, and we have all the Elder Planets names now.
So you think the Mother Flame is Uranus, but like with Vegapunk's fingerprints on it to make it more
modern?
I would assume the ancient kingdom that the world government fought against was the only one that had the ability to use the ancient weapons. But Im had Uranus, for like at least one of them, tucked away somewhere. And when Vegapunk became the chief scientist, had, obviously a liaison, because obviously Vegapunk doesn't know about him.
Yeah.
At least you would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Vegapunk and be like, you can study this all you want, just make it work. And he somehow made it work. Mm-hmm. And now Im's able to use one of the ancient weapons completely under his control.
Yeah. It's very possible. You can combine that with the knowledge Im probably has from that era and probably seeing the enemy kingdom use them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to tell because we still don't quite. We can probably assume it's an ancient weapon, but
or has the capabilities,
or at least literally they're making copies of warlords at this point.
Yeah.
So what's to say that they aren't making little mini versions of ancient weapons?
Yeah.
Like they're. I think that it feels like with Imu at the head, and that's probably how Imu got to the top. Like there's like they've got that surgery, they stayed alive for 800 years, and they've worked their way to the top, always having this cumulative knowledge of the ancient but probably far more sophisticated kingdom to what it is now. With that knowledge and that technology at his command, it would be hard for him to be able to influence things and start pushing forward, advances in technology through people like Vegapunk and stuff. And dude, what if even the distribution of fruits in some cases is at his behest?
Yeah.
The only one that could the only one not at his behest might be Luffy's type thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting thing here, because I've always thought that the God Valley thing, nobody can find God Valley. I assumed that this weapon was used on God Valley.
Mm-hmm.
But then Jay Garcia says, we haven't had the chance to try it out before now, so there's no way to ascertain its effectiveness yet.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that this was not used to get rid of God Valley.
No. And wouldn't you know it, the former king of God Valley...
No, I know!
...is in this fucking chapter.
That's the main reason I even bring it up.
And he looks fucking sick.
Dude, yeah.
Even with that moon haircut,
He looks like he belongs in something like fucking Dr. Stone, or even One Punch Man.
I could see him in Fairy Tail.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see him in Fairy Tail, most definitely.
He just... Definitely his design.
But it's also...
you don't look like you belong in this.
It's fitting with the celestial vibe of the top of the world. For
sure.
And, dude, it's just so cool.
Yeah.
I think he is my second favorite looking old man in One Piece right now.
Who's your first?
Rayleigh.
Oh, that's fair. Rayleigh is pretty sick. Okay. Results of this experiment may affect how we choose to handle the egghead situation. Obviously, M is just like, well, Lucia, it's close. Fuck it.
It's close proximity.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Make it so.
It's just a Death Star, but for planets.
Pretty much. So yeah, no, it's awesome to see all of their names.
Yeah,
they look very intimidating in this panel.
We know, just across 2 chapters, we know so much about them now compared to 2 chapters ago. Yeah. They were still just a mystery, and now we have their full names and titles.
Yeah.
And a little hint of their power. A little tiny hint. Which is crazy to me.
I love that they're all warrior gods.
Yes. Yeah,
so
there's
once another thing that I'm just like, these guys are strong.
They've gotta be. They've gotta be.
I retrieve Vivi. So
she's...
What is Im's purpose in that? Is it just because now he knows Vivi is connected to the D's?
I don't think it's just that. I think it's her connection to the original 20. I think there's something big surrounding that.
Because, now that we know specifically that Im is not Lily, because we were thinking that 2 chapters ago, I don't know what.
There's got to be something there with the 20. I'm thinking, and something that would come from having the last line of the 20 there. Because if he just wanted her killed, he would just send assassins and shit.
Just because he's saying retrieve.
Yeah, so he needs Vivi for something, I think. And one of the things I talked about with Alex last chapter was that maybe she has the blood of both tribes. The D tribe, and then what I'm calling the Void tribe for now. This is Void Century, and also Imu translates to Void, I believe, was what it said. Something there translated to Void. I can't remember what it was, but it was very... it might not have been Emu, but it was something connecting to Emu or connecting to the families. Because one of the side scripts said it could translate to Emu or Dream. Void or Dream.
If this is accurate...
Oh. That'd be something.
I'm gonna look at that.
But for right now, I'm referring to them as the Void Clan, just because Void Century, as the opposite of the D Clan. And so maybe it's just that little connecting factor that Vivi might have the blood of both.
Okay, I don't know if that's exactly. Okay, whatever. No. So okay. I get what you're saying. That'd be interesting.
Because it wouldn't be surprising, and maybe Vivi's necessary as a D, because if we're assuming that old destroy civilization were the Ds, she can actually activate the ancient weapons themselves.
Okay. Just checking a few things there, just to see. Okay. No, that would be very interesting if, with Robin's help, Vivi could be one of the ones activating some things.
Yeah.
Just a really, funny moment for an intimidating character. I love the fucking little crown on the Dendemushi in that. Or rather, the tall crown on the Dendemushi. Yes. Fucking, that's so fucking ridiculous to me.
Oh my
god. Okay, so we move on from that. We got, and I already asked about this, we got the Tajin and the Aegis Kingdoms rebelling.
Mm-hmm.
Akinu's looking pissed, as always. Alex will be happy. And then we get confirmation that it is not the most current warlords.
It's all of them.
It's all of them so far. The only one we haven't confirmed is maybe Blackbeard.
And also, once again, who's to say that's not going to, like what we said way earlier, go to people that they've imprisoned as well.
Yeah.
Like Shiki or Roger, know? Oh my god.
No, I know. I'm not looking forward to that.
This is pumped up, though.
Dude, how mad do you think Doflamingo would be knowing that there's at least one little clone of him traipsing about?
I don't know. I think Doflamingo would get a huge laugh out of it.
Maybe.
I don't see him being super fucking pissed about it. I could be him like, haha, this is definitely something those assholes would do, but goddamn, I was such a cute kid. Chaos.
Anyway, Crocodiles, Seraphim looks sick. I love it.
And Moria looks about as chaotic as we might think a little Moria would look like. Be. Why does his hair look like it's on fire?
Because he's got Lunarian DNA.
But it's so weird that it's his hair. Normally it's just on the back.
I mean, his hair also was just kind of flame-like anyway. Just in its styling, not necessarily in its...
So interesting.
Whatever.
But yeah, so now we got more stuff to worry about in terms of Seraphim.
Sabo did the whole... Sorry. Sabo did the old... translate my signal from a ship close by.
Yep.
Or bounce it off the mirror over at Lelucia to get them off my trail. Trick.
Baited him.
You could say that Sabo... No, I'm not going
to. At least it answered our question as to when was he on Lelucia and how did he get off of it,
Yeah. Hopefully this also is a good enough explanation for Alex, because that fucker's still gonna be like, I don't buy it. It's probably still a clone of Sabo, or it's, fucking Katrina Devon in Sabo form.
Personally, I think that's just because you really want her to show up with Egghead.
No, I'm saying Alex.
I know.
Say that.
I'm saying you don't like that because you really want Katarina Devon.
I mean, I just don't like that because I want it to be Sabo.
You're really disagreeing with me a lot today, and I don't like the vibe today.
I just want it to be Sabo because I don't need fucking Kamabaka Queendom getting wrecked too.
Getting destroyed, yeah.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
But now we know Lelucia is for sure just completely destroyed. It wasn't transported somewhere or disappeared. It was destroyed.
I mean, maybe it was sent to the Shadow Realm. Maybe they can bring it back.
Pegasus was behind it. Pegasus is one of the God's Knights.
Shut up and duel me, Pegasus!
All the God Knights are main enemies from other anime. You got Giovanni. Fucking Orochi.
Orochimaru. Oh, gosh.
Yabak from Bleach. Oh, God.
And then Frieza.
Oh,
what if Im's Frieza?
I think Frieza's head is too big for that.
That's fair. So then it must be Madara.
Turns out this whole thing was This is the shonen anime to end all shonen anime.
Well, this is the Avengers Endgame of anime.
Shonen.
Anyway, we're gonna stop memeing there, but it'd still be cool in a memey sort of way.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, Sabo's definitely not happy, but he's using it to the advantage of the revolutionaries.
Gotta do what he's gotta do. Enormous shot it.
Yeah. So he did that, rerouted that. The annihilation happened during that call. How in the world did they do that? Enormous shadow seemed to engulf the sky above us. That's why I'm telling you, man, it's either like actual Uranus or just a copy of Uranus.
It's so hard to tell.
I don't know.
But we're not meant to tell right now,
no,
obviously.
For sure. Right now, it's still meant to be mysterious.
Well, we got some information about who we could probably assume is Emu.
Yeah. House Nerona.
House Nerona.
I have, that name means nothing to me right now.
Emu Nerona.
I expect at some point it'll probably mean something to me, but for right now it means nothing. Is that supposed to be the Devil Fruit book that he's showing Sabo? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because obviously, yeah. Obviously, he's talking about the ability to grant eternal youth, which is most likely regarding the Opi no Mi, unless there's something else that we're not aware of. But Opi seems to be the most prime candidate for that specifically.
You know who else has a D in his name?
Marshall D. Teach, Trafalgar D. Law, yeah.
He's got the Opi no Mi.
Yeah.
All these central fruits R&D names holders. I can't help but see it as not a coincidence anymore. Just with everything that's happening, the fact that the fruit that gave Ibu eternal youth or eternal life wound up in the hands of a D. And dude, this just. It's all connected to D's somehow for some reason. And it's making.
I mean, would we have it any other way?
No, but it's making me paranoid in weird ways. Well, just what's connected here now? Am I looking too much into this? The fuck, Oda?
Oda's gonna turn you into an actual full-blown theorist where you actually have
That's not who I am.
I know.
But he might turn me into that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Means there is another person out there who doesn't need to. There is a person, not another person. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to worry about death. Could be a coincidence. It's not going to be a coincidence. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
We've all been theorizing that Im is immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the five elder planets called him the creator, I'm just I'm sorry, but this person's been here since the beginning.
If he led the downfall of the ancient civilization, then yeah, he is the creator of the world government.
Well, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is
oh, no, I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was just reaffirming what you said.
Because clearly this person has been there since the beginning of the world government as we know it.
Yes.
Gosh. And then we've already kind of talked about, assuming the object you saw was a weapon made by the government. The only person capable would be Vegapunk. Dragon's going to bat for his buddy. So it must. What if it was an ancient weapon and he's been holding out since ancient times?
Yeah.
Do in fact exist, but if this person had such a weapon, why wait till now to use it? Because, in my opinion, Im sees the greatest threat to their power at this point, personally. You have the reawakening of the Gomu Gomu no Mi / Nika fruit
/ Joy Boy.
/ Joy Boy. While he may not be aware of it, Poseidon is active in the world. You have Nico Robin. You have D's making strides. You have people finding out that he even exists still. And that news is getting out. People are escaping with that information.
Yeah.
So why not use the ancient weapon now when there is the most to lose if you don't?
Yeah, because things are spiraling out.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely. I think they still feel it's within their control, but it's slowly but surely spiraling out.
Because, think about it. You had 2 people who got away from that chamber. You got Wapol, which I don't think he fully understands what he saw. Sabo understands what he saw.
But also, at the very least, Wapol knows that it was them that killed Cobra.
Yep.
And that is huge.
Yep.
Because he was beloved by many kingdoms.
Yeah.
Also, this makes me excited, though, because what if we actually get to see... I don't know what that was. What if we actually get to see St. J. Garcia's form at Egghead? And that'll be kind of what lends itself to the whatever event it is. Because if anything is going to cause that...
Dude, there are so many possible, things now heading towards Egghead that I'm just like, bruh, it's going to be an event.
It's going to be chaos, because there's going to be Kizaru, Blackbeard pirates.
Because remind me, when we last heard about the Egghead incident, didn't it say it was going to happen the next day?
Mm-hmm, we're almost there.
So that's
and everyone's showing up.
Everyone's here. It's going to be Smash Bros.
By God.
Smash Bros. Egghead incident.
So we're going to have Kizaru. So we can probably assume Kizaru,
Jay Garcia,
Blackbeard
all
pirates,
the Straw Hats, some Blackbeard
pirates. Bonnie's there. Unexpectedly,
some Seraphim, some Vegapunks, some CP0s.
There's
100 warships.
And fucking Vivi's heading there too.
You and I assume this.
Yeah, presumptuously, but if she is, what a better time.
Because Alex, I know he disagrees with me on that one.
Me too.
But I fully believe that Morgan's is going to go to where the news is this time.
Well, that's what I think too. I think the what me and Alex agreed on was that he thought that Morgan's wouldn't escape Kizaru's attention. I'm like, Morgan's knows how to survive. He doesn't need to fight in order to get around. And
Which Alex kept making all these points to me that I'm just like, well, first off, Morgan's wasn't introduced until after the time skip. And B, all of the things that you've mentioned to me do sound like things where it was he was probably in the background somewhere at for instance, Sabadi. Mm-hmm. When Ace was being executed.
He's a journalist.
None of the press were at Marineford. They were all watching the screens at Sabadi. He was most likely there.
I would not put it past him.
No, I would not put that past him.
But no, I could totally see him going there. Man, I'm so excited and scared to see what this event might be, because I don't know what it's going to consist of.
I hope it's epic.
Is it going to be a beatdown on someone that we don't like? Is it going to be someone else dies? Does Vegapunk die? Does Jay get punched in the face?
I hope Jay gets punched in the face.
I'm really hoping that we get to see Jay's form.
Yeah.
Or
I really hope Oda doesn't make us wait too long.
Or that Kizaru gets punched in the face.
I mean, I'm always down to see Kizaru get punched in the face. Alex has seen to that.
This isn't this honestly isn't a spite to Kizaru. I just want to see him finally get punched in the face by the Straw Hats. Because
he is too cocky for my liking.
I don't even think he's cocky. I think he's just weird. I think he's just a weird guy with a weird face. You have characters like that. Look at Kokoro. She has a weird natural face. She naturally has a weird face, but like
fair.
That doesn't mean she's like she's not trying to bite your head off. She's just like, this is how I talk.
Yeah.
This is how I drink with my mouth open. So I think he's Aro. I think he's literally just like he does, and I think that's kind of the fun paradox there is like he does things as slowly as possible despite being a speed of light human, human. And so I don't necessarily think it's. I think he's like, I don't want to do this, but I'll do it. Type thing. Like it's just because it's a lot of effort. But either way,
he's volunteered for a few things.
He's an admiral for a reason. He'll do stuff. Maybe he has to beat a quota. Maybe they specifically set a quota for him.
That's funny.
All right, so in order for the 5th one this week, you just go with St. JRC Saturn. Take care of some business, Try making sure he doesn't have to use his transformation. Not that he might know. I don't know. Maybe he does know. But either way, man, this is going to be an event that I think might just make us forget Wano. With all of the pieces here.
I mean, to be fair, I've already kind of forgotten Wano.
I haven't.
Like, not to say that I didn't like Wano, but like, there's so much going on, and the only reason Wano is still even relevant to me is because obviously that's where the anime's still at. But even then, like, I'm not doing my best in keeping up week to week on that.
I am.
No, good for you.
Because I care.
I do care.
Uh-huh.
You don't have a child.
Tell that to the people.
I'm sorry.
See, he didn't say shit. He apologized because he knows it's true.
Anyway.
Children. Anyways. But discording that. Yeah, dude, fuck. I really want to see the events that led up to Miosgard's execution. And I want a little bit of inner dialogue as well as a flashback to maybe stuff he might have talked about. Might reveal a little bit more. Especially maybe with Otohime.
Sure. I could live with that.
I
have nothing against that. I don't think we're going to get it personally, but I'd like it.
I mean, he's saved our people twice now.
Mm-hmm.
And he deserves it, I think.
No. Well, I mean, he definitely deserves, in my opinion, more than just to be, like, shown crucified over here.
Well, and also, he's a Don Quixote. Like,
yeah,
he's connected to some big people. Yeah. There's got to be something there. I mean, the Don Quixote family itself, there's got to be something there. Like, this definitely isn't the last we've seen of fucking Dofi.
I don't know. I don't want to see Dofi again, but also, I'm not mad if Oda doesn't ever bring Dofi back in any way that matters.
I'd be very surprised if he didn't.
I would be very surprised with how much he's making, Wapol relevant again.
Well, and just like the fact, and also just the fact that it's confirmed that he's making all the former warlords Seraphim. Like, and also it became pretty clear that, like, basically everyone's going to be involved in this in one way or another, it looks like. Like, he's setting the stage. And it wouldn't surprise me if someone just either indirectly or directly breaks him out of prison, because he's got a lot of connections.
Yeah.
And I think it might only be a matter of time. And this guy is the strongest of the God Knights.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Saint Figarland Garling.
Okay, so we can probably assume he's one of the original. Well, he's from the line of the original 20 then.
I would assume.
Because he's a saint.
Oh, no, that's...
I think the saints are the original 20. No, actually no. Yeah, that's true, because they're all descended from the original 20. That's just the Tenryubito stuff.
Part of me thinks, based on the wording of this, it doesn't say he was descended from the former kings of the land known as God Valley. It says he was the former king.
I know. I think I just naturally assume that he's descended from them, because the title and he was a king.
Yeah. But
Either
also,
way.
St. Charlos is definitely not a founding member.
I mean, he's dumb enough to be inbred, though.
Oh, yeah.
What I was saying is that they're descended from him, not that he's a founding member.
Okay. Got it.
But then I remembered that all the Tenryubito are supposed to be descended from the founding families. So.
Yep.
So, which basically confirmed that I think he is a descendant of a founding family.
Yeah.
But, a much more impressive one than any of the Tenryubito surrounding him. Which, look at those smug assholes just cheering in the background there.
I am happy to hear that they are starving.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear that their food supply is gone.
They need to lose some weight.
And all they have is cake. So let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake. Oh my god, that's such a fun turnaround. Because it's actually the rich and wealthy ones.
Yeah. Who only have cake left.
That only have cake left.
Fuck you. All you stupid Tenryubito.
Viva la revolution, baby. Anything else?
I felt like we went into a lot of detail with this chapter.
We memed a lot, we detailed a lot, we found a lot with the love.
It's just good stuff, man.
And
I hate that we have a 5-week break, but I know it's for Oda's benefit.
It's for,
Just sucks.
I get it. But man, it's the fact that we know their names now, it still doesn't hit me. Because, for so long...
They've just been the Gorosei.
They've just been these old men.
Elder stars.
That are a big deal. And now it's
These old men that me and Alex would always, give each other a hard time about whether or not they were strong. And now I'm pretty sure they're fucking strong. And I have names for every single one of them.
They're royal-ass names, too.
Do you think, Jay Garcia is, the most important one because we got him first?
No. I'm willing to bet. I mean, I think they're all of equal stature.
But also defense science. Totally makes sense why he would be the one going to Vegapunk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just wondering if his role to play will be direct combat, if he's got an order to make, if he's got to provide something for Kizaru or the Marines on the island. What is his what's his business there? What's his business there? That's one thing we still don't know yet, and I'm really excited to find out is what does bring an elder and because I don't think it's so crazy that one of them left the tower. It's so crazy that they went to the field.
Also, seriously, every time I just read that, what is the reason for the Lucius selection? It's close proximity.
That was cold.
Just
cold fucking line, dude.
I literally have no other reason than it's the closest thing to us.
Gee.
Fuck that place. Can't have shit, Lewis.
But the people, it's of no consequence. They're just people.
They're just sheep for the slaughter. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, no, I think we eviscerated this chapter in just how much we had to talk about. So
brutally murdered this chapter, yes, quite.
Just brutally murdered an entire island. Anyway, with that being said, stay tuned for our predictions for One Piece Chapter 1087, and we'll see you then.
Bye.